ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, welcome to the first episode of 2024 and the first episode of season 3 of the Plum podcast. It's Wednesday, January 10th. I'm Nathan Waddell, and as always, I'm joined in the booth by my best friend, Damian Kiefer.
Good morning, chat.
Tonight's episode is presented by Majula C Speed Shop. Majula C Speed Shop is the #1 community to join, to learn, and to win. I'm a part of that community now, and I can attest to this. The setups are fast, the community is strong, and someone is always there to help. Use code PLUMWILD. Let me get that up on the screen. Use code PLUMWILD for 15% off at checkout. That's code PLUMWILD. Big thanks again to Majula C Speed Shop for coming on board to sponsor another episode. We got a lot to catch up on, but first, Kiefer, how you feeling today?
Not feeling bad today. Better than I've been in the past 2 days.
Really?
Really buzzing off the caffeine today.
Oh yeah, yeah. You
wound up.
Yeah, he sent a picture. He made his own. Did you make your own 7 Brew this morning? Y'all have seen me Y'all have seen me drink 7 Brew on stream, and Kiefer. We introduced it to Kiefer, and now he's a huge fan, and he decided to start making his own. I think he wants to open a franchise.
I do. I really do. I really like. And I've talked to my mother about it. Like honestly,
Jesus, you've talked to your mom about
we
it.
We had a discussion the other day about it. She's like, you need to look into it more, and like told me to like seriously look into it and call some people. So I was like,
freaking, what a supportive mom, dude.
But yeah, found out you can make your own energy chillers or refreshers, whatever you want to call.
It's energy chiller.
Energy chiller and Red Bull, and you get some syrup from like Amazon.
Yeah. The what's the brand?
Like Tanani or something.
Yeah,
I don't Tarani. I think
Tomasi.
I think yeah, Tanner Tomasi. I think that's what it is.
It's his syrup.
This one's got Sprite in it, but
you got one right now.
Yeah, it's got Sprite though.
Oh baby.
But well, like I've consumed 320 milligrams of caffeine today.
No way, dude. It's not a good thing that you know how to make your own now.
But chat, there's a reason why. All right, we're fighting through it. Fight through it though.
Yeah, we're gonna make it. I think.
Yeah. Brutal.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot to really catch up on. Like, a lot has happened since our last podcast. You know, our last episode was right there near the end of 2023. We're now 10 days into 2024.
Dropped. New year.
Yep. Yeah. New year. What did you do for the new year? I know you went on vacation, but what did you do for the new year?
New Year's Eve. Hear me out. New Year's Eve, we were sitting there. I was laying in bed about 10:30. And I went to bed.
Same here, dude. It was.
I got girl, Mackenzie, woke me up in the morning, or woke me up at like 12:45. She's like, "We missed the ball drop." I was like, "That sucks." He's like, "You gonna go back to bed?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So gave her a kiss, went back to bed. Nighty night. But then I went on vacation. The week after, which was sick.
Yeah, we did. Me and Hannah did the same thing. Hannah had to work that day, and she got home. She's like, "I'm tired," and I'm like, "Let's just go to bed." We freaking went to bed at like 10, dude. Didn't see the ball drop, nothing, dude. Just woke up in 2024 like it was 2023. But so you went on vacation. I saw you posted some really nice photos. The new iPhone taking some pretty good pictures. I see.
Yeah, the new Christmas present. Climbed 3 mountains. All right. And Great Smoky Mountains on the Appalachian Trail. It was life-changing.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. It really was. I enjoy that kind of stuff, and I think we've planned a few more backpacking trips, which will be pretty dope. But what I found out, and I'll be honest with you, this is probably as real as this gets. So we walked a total of 15 miles in 6.5 hours, I think, with about I forget what the elevation gain was, but it was dumb.
That's a little over 2 miles per hour. It's pretty slow, buddy.
It was like 2.4, I think, is what average was. Actually. But about 4 miles into the hike of the uphill, we were climbing Love Mountain,
Uh-huh.
and it just was so many stairs, so many stairs. I had to talk with myself
Uh-huh.
there, and she was going through like we were both dead, okay, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. And not like I had a serious talk with myself in the middle of the woods here,
A
sitting on like
serious
next to this bush.
motivational talk.
And I'm like leaned over, and I'm like, I ain't walking 4 miles back without getting to the top of this thing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. And I was honestly surprised myself for doing it. But
So you
if you want to get
persevered.
the same, we persevered and we got through it. I'm really glad I did it. Just I think it was a lot for me,
Yeah.
like just me.
Sounds like a mental
And
thing. So
yeah,
what you're saying
but it
is
was.
now you're going to be better on the track.
But I don't know about that.
It's like
But
a
no, and then uh we quit Nick, dude. Are we quitting nicotine? I know people don't. Some of them know that, but like, I apologize. And Monday night, I'm a little apologize for some of my actions. I was a little aggressive.
Oh yeah, an NWRA. Yeah, because
NWRA.
he told us me, him, and Hannah were playing games, and he was like, "I quit the Nick today," and I was like, "Ah, shit, that's not gonna be good for NWRA tonight. It's gonna be, it's not
Yeah,
gonna be good."
and
And it didn't go as bad as I expected
but
on your end.
no, it went better. And I mean, we had a good night Tuesday night. Monday night was just we were off. I needed to work on some stuff for myself. But
Well, yeah, let's talk about
right.
NWRA. Let's talk about NWRA.
NWA,
Like
you qualified third.
I did. Freaking
I think
invert. I still don't love the invert. I
so.
qualify third. Why do I have to start fourth in heat 3?
Can I
Why?
ask this question now? Can I just Where'd you finish?
In in the race?
Where'd you finish at the end of the night?
Third.
Okay, continue. Now continue your
But
rant.
why I had to scratch and claw my way from ninth or wherever I started in the feature to third whenever
Where'd you finish again?
third.
Okay, continue.
But I I could have had a better run had I started third. If I qualify third, I start pole of my heat, I win my heat most likely. I feel
Just win your
like
heat race.
it's harder to do that from fourth than it is from first. I don't love inverts. We get passing points, I don't care. I want to start where I qualify unless it benefits me.
I
And
get that.
in which case it benefited old
How
Interkin, you know.
how pumped were you though for driving ninth to third?
I would have been more
Like
pumped
that is.
driving third to first, dude.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, come
Hey,
on.
let the racers race, all right?
I just, but
So
old Interkin picked up the win, dude.
he did. He did.
I asked him.
He
I
hit
don't
the
know if
invert perfect,
I don't
dude.
know.
Number two, qualified P20.
I don't know if you watched
Hit
my stream or his stream, but I asked him after the race was over and we were
or
waiting on our interviews.
17.
I asked him. I think he qualified 16th because it
16.
inverts from that
Yeah,
heat, not
17th.
not
Yeah,
totally right.
not the top 20.
Right.
Yeah, that's why
So
I said 17th or so. Yeah.
so I asked him after the race. I was like, "Did you play the invert just right?" And he was like, "Shoot, no, I ain't play no invert." And I was like, "Kiefer tried to tell me he was gonna play the invert." I was like, "I don't believe none of that, man." But hey, it worked
No,
out
I
for him.
squirrel.
He's been brutally honest with himself, and I think he needs to allow himself to take more credit. He keeps saying this win fell in his lap, but okay, you got a
We
little
still led
lucky.
50 laps
You got a little
at
lucky that
Lernerville.
you started pole of your heat and hit the invert or whatever. But you still had to wheel the hell out of it at Lernerville on the top the whole 50 laps to hold off Yeager, Dylan Wilson, Dylan Hauser,
Yeah, some
myself.
good
Like
guys.
you were still the fastest guy out there.
Yeah.
And so I think he deserves or should allow himself to take more credit than that. But I know he's super pumped about it. That was round one. Like I said, or like you said, I brought home third. You ended up finishing, I think, 11th or 10th, wasn't it?
10th.
Yeah.
10th.
You're still up there in the
We're
in
eighth in points. No, tied for eighth in
well,
points.
you're up there in the power rankings too. I don't. I feel
Yeah,
like you're
I
higher
wasn't
than you
even in the
deserve,
top
dude.
10. I wasn't even in the top 10. I should be like top
Dude,
18.
You know what kind of blew me away was that Dylan Wilson completely fell out of the top 10 in the power rankings that Eddie did, and he was in second or third the whole race. He just fell off. Like
Yeah,
that
he fell
shouldn't
off.
hurt you.
He literally fell off the power rankings.
Yeah,
Get it?
fell off the track and then fell off the power rankings. But did you happen to see any of the drama that happened while Jesse was leading with about
Yes.
10 to go, battling
Yeah,
with a
he
lap
got.
car who shall not be named, but Jesse was just cruising in the lead, and
Yeah.
then he had to deal with a lap car. What do you make of all that? Because
I just
if you saw he threw like a 3-car slider to try to get around lap cars, which is
right,
risky, but come on, it's the fucking leader. Live for him. Like,
right,
what do you think?
right. I wouldn't slide the leader, but
I
so if you do slide the leader, I'm not saying you can't race the leader.
I
Okay,
I
but it's
valid
just
concern.
because I won't ramble for too long here. Because at Lernerville, right? If he was racing for position, I don't. Was he in that?
He had 2 other cars around him that he was racing for position with, or he was leading the pack of 3.
Okay, well, we'll just give. Well, he was racing with other cars. So if he lets Jesse pass him and he just coasts by and like lets him pass on the bottom, he has a real bottom. It's about a half a second. Okay. If in order for this to be a win scenario for both parties, the lap car, in my opinion, can slide the leader. Okay, but when the leader crosses you back over, you fall into place. You just fall into place.
I
You can't
think
slide. He slid him back twice or 3 times or something
it
like
was
that. No.
3, I believe.
Yeah, no, that's too many. Like one, if you just one and
I
follow in with
don't
the leader,
I
you'll be
don't even
fine
like
because he's the
1.
leader. He's already faster.
I don't even like 1 personally. Like,
No,
I
but like the
get that he
one
was
I kind of get,
mad.
I get kind of one. One I can get over one.
I
You can
I
get over one.
dude, to be honest,
He didn't kill
this is
him.
no joke. This is really no joke. I cannot remember. This is arrogant as hell. I know it is. And it may not even be true, but I cannot remember a single time where with a clean car I have went a lap down. I can never remember being lap traffic with a clean car. I don't think I've ever had it happen. However, I would never, I don't care who I'm battling, I would never slide the leader. That is the
Well, yeah, no,
ultimate.
I wouldn't.
I think it's the
But
ultimate dick move. Like,
yeah.
that is
Well, if
the
somebody did that to me in
leader.
real life, I drive. I don't know. I wouldn't drive through him, but I'd be like,
I don't know. It was that was kind of go like I heard Eddie come over and I was just trying to stay on the track at
there
this
was a
point.
few. Wasn't there a few incidents though, like of this too for him?
No,
There's a few times.
that was the only
Oh, that was that
one.
one.
That was
Oh.
really the only one. But it was I had heard Eddie say like, "Why are we sliding the leader?" And I was like, "Oh, what the hell is that about?" But I didn't hear anything else about it. Whatever.
Right.
I had to go back and watch Jesse's stream, and then I also saw the clip that he posted on his Facebook page, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking there." But regardless, round 1's over. I'm third in points after that. I think I started off the season about as well as I could have. We got Lanier next week. Hopefully, it goes well. I don't love Lanier, but I think, in supers, as long as it doesn't get too locked down on the bottom, it can create some good racing. We had what else is there to go? My new piece.
For
Whoa.
end up. Yeah, continue.
No, you go
Your
ahead. I'm
PC.
going on a
I was just,
completely
I
different.
was I was gonna say the NWRA big blocks happened yesterday.
Yeah, go ahead. We can talk
I
about
ran
that
a
too.
well. I wanted to make a comment about it. Like not
Go
that
ahead.
I did run decent in it, but so the passing points deal, right?
Oh boy.
It it makes for you, or I like it and why I think it's a good thing, and it's just interesting. Not that I get your side of it. I totally do.
Mm-hmm.
I totally do. Um, but there's also another simple fact of like the enjoyment of knowing that you have to be good all night and knowing that you were good all night. Like
How is
if you
that
qualified
not
up
the
front,
same?
and then
If
if
I
you qualified up
qualify,
front,
if there's no
because
invert,
you
I
know how easy it
qualified
is to win a
pole.
race from the pole than it is to win a race from a fourth. You have to have a good race car to win from fourth compared
Okay,
to
but
winning from the pole.
okay, if you got damn Dylan
And it takes
Eager,
a great.
Dylan Hauser, Dylan Wilson, you got any of them breathing down your neck, and you start from the pole.
Gots to
That's
go.
not easy.
No, it's
You
not.
had to
It
have a
isn't.
good car. You had to run a good race in your heat race, and then
Correct.
you know what I mean.
Right. You
From the
still have
pole,
it, but it's an easier scenario.
sure, but you earned it by
I get.
qualifying well.
Yeah. Well, it's fine.
I don't like it. I don't like it. How
Dude,
how did big blocks go for you? Let's.
but I think like besides Hauser ripped the like he pulled a Jesse Interkin.
He
Hit
probably
the
did it
invert.
intentionally.
Uh, I don't know, but he ripped it. He did it. He got it and got it on that, started to pull and won it. But no, like in Lanier it didn't race bad. I thought the big blocks actually raced really well last night. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Is just once the track got really slick there at the end and kind of locked down. It's Lanier. That's kind of
That's what happens.
That's what happens. Like that's kind of what I expect next week. Sadly, it's just the last 25. It's kind of 20. Hopefully not that many, but eventually at one point in time the race is gonna lock down.
Yeah.
But before that, like those big blocks, like even in the heat races, you could run 3 lanes. Granted, in the heat races, like the earlier heat races, it was tighter and the racetrack wasn't as wide. But you got later on, you could actually run 3 lanes. You probably couldn't race 3 lanes, but you could race 2 lanes pretty consistently, side by side, identical lap times, and I thought that was really cool.
You know, I recently got thinking about this, and I believe it. I believe it's true personally. I think on this build, the best racing is whenever the track is about half slick.
Yes.
Once the track gets completely blown, like if it's too tacky, 1 lane. If it's too slick, lock down 1 lane. But whenever there's a good amount of slick
middle
and
lane there, it's like B main, right? B main beginning of feature. That
well, it
racetrack's
depends
really
on how many
good.
cars and how many heats.
Yes,
but
it depends, and sometimes it's earlier, and sometimes it's later on in the race.
And of course, it's easier to race whenever it's still got some tack in it. But I think ultimately, it's better racing whenever there is. I don't know why.
The league racing is better in my opinion too, because it's not pre-drened. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's a
pre-gen
consistent, and it's just a consistent racetrack.
Now, given that, do you think that we should have done a reset in both the supers at Lernerville and the big blocks at Lanier? I think a reset, obviously with the warm up. With the warm up though, you work it in a little bit so it's not completely fresh. I think we should have had a reset
in the late models.
Reset it completely. Give us 5 minutes of warm up. We don't have to use all of it, but give us 5, and then you make the call. All right, cars are off the track. We're advancing. The track's good right now.
Right.
Because we started with the track completely slick, and
the supers just burn them off so much faster too. Though
the track was, the bottom was good for maybe a lap, maybe at the beginning, because I saw me and Dez, I think, made up some spots early. That was it.
And I was following, and I was right. Yeah, and we were I got caught up, but you got. Well, there was like 4 wide, and you snuck by.
Yeah.
And that was
yeah. I went from 9th to 6th.
I got caught behind it, and I was like, God dang it, dude! I was like, Are you kidding me? Yeah. And but like the bottom there was really good for about 3 laps max, and then it was and it also could be that your tires are cold and how that works.
Yeah, but still, I think we needed a reset at most tracks. I can't think of any tracks that right off the dome that wouldn't
Knoxville.
Knoxville, I think, is great all the way through. Yeah. You definitely don't want one.
Knoxville just gets better.
Yeah, Knoxville's the best track on the game.
Unless there's a point where it gets too slick. There is a point.
Well,
it gets too slick.
Anyways, also I want to throw it out there that I beat you at Lernerville.
He did.
So, also I got my new PC. This is the first podcast on the new PC. Hang on. Yeah, so these fans on this new PC are kind of loud. I was worried that was going to be an issue, but they're not all kicked on right now. It doesn't really do that until it's kind of under stress, so that's good. But the new PC is a beast. If y'all hadn't been tuning into my streams, this thing is an absolute monster compared to my old one. I can run iRacing, multiple screens up, for whatever, and it's just locked at 240. I unlocked it, uncapped it, dude. I hit like 650 FPS. Hit like 1,000 or 1,100 on Rocket League with it uncapped. It's just unbelievable, and I love it. So the new PC's dope. Went to the Ice Bowl on Friday, which was kind of disappointing because everyone that was gonna be there, that was gonna like come meet me or hang out, was going on Saturday, and I couldn't go on Saturday because I had a birthday party to go to. But the Ice Bowl was phenomenal. The track, it's my home track. I don't think that it has been great for the past 10 years, if not longer. Talladega has just not been great. Last year's Ice Bowl was the last race on that surface, and it was just locked down right around the bottom. It just rubbered so quickly, and so they tore the track up, put a new surface down.
Surface Saturday night too.
They put a new surface down, and it was rougher than hell all of last year. And they put a wall up. Mm-hmm. But they were moving around more. I could see it. I could see the potential. And the Ice Bowl was hands down the best that I've seen Talladega look in years. The track was nice and wide. It was smooth, slick, but they could work multiple different lines. I think what they need to do now is put a wall up in 3 and 4. I don't know exactly how they would do that. They would probably have to do it like Cedar Lake has it, where you have a hole for your pit road entrance and a hole for your pit road exit. I don't like that from a racer's standpoint because I don't like having an opening that you're heading towards. Don't love it. But it's either that or put a bigger hole in 4 that you pull into and out of. But regardless, the track was great. I was super happy to see that. And I had fun the night that I was there, even though it was cold. We had Sprint Car Pro Series at Fairbury. Aiden Forster won it after Hayden chokes at the end.
Tough.
If Hayden had won every single race that he has not messed up, I think he'd probably be leading points. Like he's thrown a lot of races away, or gotten wrecked or whatever, which is unfortunate. But he did look good, and then just made a little mistake there at the end, which is unfortunate.
But that's what Pro Series is. It's 35 laps of perfection in the sprint cars, and like the late model stuff, it's 50 laps. Like you see it all the time in any class, any division across racing. It's just you gotta be perfect every lap.
I want to give a quick shout out to one of the people that we have had on this show in season 1, Caden Honeycutt. Qualified 3rd at night 1 at Vado, finished 10th, and then qualified pole night 2. I think that's really cool to see someone who is an iRacing, late model Pro Series guy go out and have some success at that level. And obviously he didn't have the night that he wanted on night 2 whenever he did qualify pole, but just to see it, I think is interesting. Whether you don't like Speed Ranch, the team that whatever, I personally just think it's cool to see. And then the last thing that I wanted to go over before we bring on our special guest, something that was announced today: Nick Saban retiring.
Thank God, the Alabama Empire is over.
The dynasty is done.
Done.
I can't believe.
He's tweeting tomorrow.
Oh, he's already tweeting
he's
today,
already
bro.
tweeting.
Yeah, he's already. He said, you know what he said? He said we're still going to be just as successful. Like, come on, Knox. I'm an Alabama fan too, but even I can admit this is going to be tough.
That's bad. Alabama's done.
I commented. I was like,
That
I've just fell to my
he
knees
is.
in Dollar General. Like it's rough. You know what it honestly feels like, and I told my dad this. It honestly feels like a funeral, dude. Like for like Alabama fans, like this is massive in a negative way. Like this is not good. Like, but it should be cause for celebration, really. Like he just. Well, I think honestly, the greatest college head football coach of all time.
Probably.
I mean,
Recruiter too.
yeah, and recruiter as well. 7 national championships, 6 with Alabama, 1 with LSU. I mean, just the amount of dominance. Like
2017.
I think one coach said it about him. Said that Nick Saban's forgotten more about football than I will ever know, which is probably true. Like, it's just an insane football mind. I'd love to see him, hopefully join some of the football shows a little bit now that he's retired. But that's all that I've got to go over.
Yeah, no, I think we're ready to. We've kind of went over.
We've been yapping.
Talking long.
We have been yapping, for sure. I think we're ready to bring on our special guest, Ryan Avila. We will be right back with him. All right, we are back, and our special guest on this episode is Momentum SimSport and Speed Shop 51's Ryan Avila. He's one of the best sprint car drivers on iRacing with over 7,000 iRating and, of course, a pro license. He's the current points leader in the Sprint Car Pro Series, and Monday night he picked up a third-place finish at Fairbury. You can watch him try to hold on to his Pro Series points lead next Monday night at Port Royal. Ryan, welcome to the Plum Wild Podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Heck yeah, man. We don't have a lot of we haven't had a lot of mostly exclusively sprint car guys on the show. We've had some guys that run both late models and sprint cars, but you're almost exclusively a sprint car guy, right?
Yeah, I main sprint cars ever since I got on the service. I feel like day one I was running sprint car hosted or just testing, but I mean, I like the other cars. They just didn't fit my driving style, I feel like, and I caught on the sprint cars really fast, and that's what I stuck with. So
you're out in California, correct?
yeah,
That's kind of more of sprint car land, anyways. But I want to start.
There's a lot of open wheel stuff out there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I do want to start a little differently today. Of course, we're going to talk a lot of iRacing. But I want to start by asking, what do you enjoy to do outside of iRacing?
I play a lot of sports. I used to play a lot of sports as well, but ever since I got into high school, I've kind of slowed down. I had an injury and kind of slowed me down as well, so I haven't been playing sports recently, but I was a very avid soccer and basketball player, so I watch sports on the weekends. I mean, I do everything. I go to races a lot. I start taking photography pretty serious now, and we've kind of got a business going. So
Really?
going out to the outlaw shows, and now we get high limit here. So and a USAC race was pretty sick. So we'll try and shoot some of that with my dad. It's been pretty good. So
Absolutely, dude. Picks. I'm a big picks guy, so I love picks. Picks guys are my favorites.
He's
picked
not
up that pretty
a
soon.
racing photographer though, or an iRacing photographer. He is good with a camera, but just not.
Yeah.
No, we can play it. No, I'm not even saying that. Like picks are just my like. If you go like
Keith.
action shot, I'll go out to Cali to
Keith.
get some shots.
Can I point something out? And you look like Dale Sr. right now, dude. Was this intentional? Was this I swear, the hat, the Bass Pro hat, I think Dale Sr. used to wear, some aviators like that, the mustache. You're very Dale Sr. looking right now.
The Intimidator.
The Intimidator. Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah.
He wore black sunglasses.
Do what?
Yes.
He did wear black sunglasses.
I was more.
Like
I'm just more of like. I was thinking more of like wasn't necessarily Dale Jr., but like that aesthetic does go with the vibe now that you're saying it. Yeah. But like that is a similar aesthetic, not necessarily Dale Jr.
What's that word that you're saying?
Aesthetic.
I feel like you're not saying it right. I think it's aesthetic. You're saying aesthetic.
I don't know. I just wasn't very good at English.
Well, either way, now we can get into the normal stuff. I don't know why. I just kind of wanted to start with that. So the question that I ask everyone: how did you get into motorsports, and how did you get into sim racing?
Man, I started a long time ago. This goes pretty way back. My dad's grandpa used to have a micro or a midget that used to run out in California, so that he's always had a racing not background, but he never really enjoyed it. So I don't know. I found racing. I would say through my grandpa as well. He always was watching NASCAR, so
Mm-hmm.
it was just a thought always. I started sim racing. Man, I used to play a lot of the F1 series games. That was my goal to be like an F1 esports kind of
Dude,
guy. That's why,
F1's dope.
man, I found that pretty early on. Bought a wheel my first time, so I was just racing, like
And
not
how
racing,
long
but
ago was that with F1 with the wheel and everything? Like,
I want to say 2018.
okay,
So 6, 7 years ago now. So um, that was always my thought to do like esports. I always wanted to be a pro in something, either sports or that's everyone's dream, I think, to be a
right.
football
Yeah.
player or whatever. But
The
sim
professional
racing,
title.
yeah, professional always sounded nice, and esports was always in the back of my mind. And I don't know, I got pushed by my dad and my mom a lot, and I found sim racing, and it clicked from there. And now, iRacing, you got to buy a computer and everything, so wasn't very funded in the beginning, and I've I think I made a name for myself now, and
Yeah.
we're here.
So you
Yeah.
said your parents pushed you a lot. What do they think of the whole like sim racing, thing, and how all of that works?
Yeah, I mean, it's like every parent. I feel like you don't want your kid to be on your computer all day, but to be a pro, you
But
kind of have to put the laps
right.
in. But
Yeah, no, that's
um,
it's
they
a good
both enjoy
discussion.
it. My whole family enjoys it. I mean, I don't know. It's sick to have something to do, and they can enjoy it as well. They can race
Yeah.
Right.
whenever they want.
And
So,
Hmm.
I'm sure that they pull for you and root for you and
oh, for
tell you
sure, they're always behind
congratulations.
me.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great feeling. But my parents are huge supporters of the sim racing stuff. Like they watch all the qualifiers and the Pro Series races, and they're just it's cool to see how supportive my parents are for something like this. That I don't know, doesn't really seem like something that I don't know. That doesn't really make sense, but it is cool. It is cool.
Mhm. I enjoy it. I mean, that's why the only reason I do it.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
because
I.
it's
That's what I
fun. I have
tell
something to
people
do.
too. I enjoy this. Like
Hmm.
they some people. I don't know. I just enjoy it. I love doing iRacing. Like it's my favorite hobby. But
Mhm.
so let's talk about your rookie season last year. The 2022-2023 season, I guess we would say. You finished 13th in points in your rookie year, securing your pro license for this season. Was that kind of the goal, going into it? Because you told me, and I looked, you hadn't been on iRacing, but for like 10 months whenever you made the Pro Series.
Yeah, I picked up the sprint cars very fast. Well, iRacing in general, I do oval and road very, very a lot. I do it. So I'm always racing, but in the beginning, it was always a goal to, as I said, become a pro. And uh, I've been on a couple of teams in my time, so I was learning from the best, and I found speedshot51.com, and I mean they guided me to get to pro, and obviously I was having to do my part, and um, yeah, it was always I just keep saying my goal because it can never come true. So just to retain my license and make pro series, it was amazing feeling. So I'm just glad I could
That was the goal
still
going into
compete
that Pro Series, was just kind of
for
like,
sure.
I just want to keep it.
Yeah,
That's kind
I
of,
did want to get a couple top fives,
well,
but
yeah, that's like a, yeah, if everything goes well, then that's there.
yeah,
But
yeah, the whole
like
night's gonna go good. But
the bar
mhm,
is set to like, let's just keep our license, and then anything
yeah,
over that, cool. That's
a pretty funny kind of stat you could say. In the 7 features I made, I was in 4B mains, so I was always coming from deep, and that's what I feel like got me kind of good at the sim was not necessarily being at the front all the time, but passing cars, learning racecraft, and that's where I feel like
yes,
I
It's a
excel.
huge thing.
that's
It's
huge.
that's what's gonna win you races if you can just get in front. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
um
I agree with you. And like just
that's what we were
learning,
just talking about. That
mhm,
it's
just
so
like
much
you're
easier to win
sliding,
from the front.
and
yeah,
like like what I like another thing is like what drives me nuts is like the mirrors. Like once you start looking
Mhm.
at your head and you race your race,
Yeah,
you won't even have to worry about it half the
not at
time.
all.
Like,
And
you know what I mean? And you just focus on what you're doing. Don't, and like, because once you do that, like, that's where like a lot of people make mistakes. I feel like,
mhm,
because as soon, like, even I do it. I admit to it. I do the same thing. But
yeah,
like, you get someone on you or something, like, in order to reach that level, it's just kind of, you know exactly what you have to do now. Just now that you've been there and you've
mhm,
experienced it and you've raced around it and you're comfortable.
yeah.
And that's kind of like what you're
That's
trying to get
a
at is
lot
just
of
That,
it,
you're
being
just trying to get
comfortable.
comfortable.
and that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. You're racing with the best on the sim. It's gonna be hard to get to the front, but if you're good enough, it's gonna happen.
Right.
But
So, do you talking about that rookie season?
mhm,
We've talked about it a lot, and I know I have, but it's a question that I get a lot, even to this day. But do you remember how nervous you were, or how you felt when you were loading into that first Pro Series race? Because we've talked about it a lot. It's just a different feeling. It's a
mhm.
different animal. At least for us, it was.
um, trying to remember, I mean, very nervous, like shaking almost when I was gritting up for the feature. I actually made the feature, but I came through the B main, so I was always very, very nervous there. And I remember my dad wasn't home. He was on a work trip or whatever, and I called him. I was like, I'm good for the race. I can't believe I made it, and I thank you. And I went out there and got a top 15. So that's all you can ask for, really. But oh,
Yeah,
the nerves were. I still get nervous till today. Like, you're racing in front of a camera, and you got the best guys behind you sometimes. So
Yeah.
I,
yeah.
And the
It's
iRacing stuff's just so competitive, and like sprint car side of things,
mhm,
that stuff's even crazier. I've seen some, like
yeah,
I forget, I don't even remember what race it was I was watching, but like I don't remember which track it was. I'd have to look at the results again, but I think all of qualifying from pole to 35th was a tenth and a half,
yeah. I don't.
which like in a
I feel
late
like I
model,
remember
like we
the
see,
the race you're talking about.
you'll see like 1 to 20 within a tenth,
Mm,
or like, but like not the whole field tenth and a half. That's crazy, but
yeah.
and then you guys are dealing with that's thousands of a second. Like,
it's
Yeah, I think
ridiculous.
this past week, I mean, 1 to 3 was 8/1000s. I missed it by just that much. I mean,
yeah,
you it's one mistake, really. That's
like
all it is.
even like that's what like another thing is, I was telling somebody about it earlier, like about well, I think we were talking about earlier, just like to make like the spring fling and like
Mhm,
qualifying. It's just about matter of like the grind isn't necessarily about getting faster. It's about just being able to go out there and do exactly what you want every single
mhm.
time.
And
Yep.
a big thing in that rookie season, back to it. Um, I was so indecisive on what to go with setup. Like with the sprint cars, you have to be pretty on it every single
Mm-hmm.
week. So
Yep.
I mean, I miss one click and I'm a tenth off. So
Yeah.
I was
So
so indecisive, and then this year I come in and I'm running what I did in practice, and I'm up front. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Just
s-
confident in what you're building and what you guys are running. And
are
that's what's
you
a good, that's a good thing.
are you much of a builder? Because that the way that you said that,
oh
you're just indecisive on which one to run, which
yeah,
uh,
so I
or
gotta
you're
thank
you're
Tanner
an
Pettit a
adjuster.
lot. I'm a little bit, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I make my own clicks, but I gotta thank Tanner Pettit a lot. Aiden, we always test, in the week before, and
Hmm.
just get the setups to a click, and we're always a click off or a click, in the good. And this week we really hit it. We've hit it every single week. I can't thank them enough for. I mean, me and Aiden are 1-2 in points. You can't ask for much, but
Yeah.
he's hit it every week. We always make the same adjustments. I feel like I'm a little tighter. I like the car just to drive, and they're a little bit looser, you could say, and they pull the wing back, and that's their car. But um, yeah, he's amazing. I don't know how he does it. I can't click a button to save my life,
That's
but
that's that's this guy. I can't
I'm
do
I'm
it at
right
all
there.
either. But um, so
I have the problem of clicking buttons as well, though. That's
Yeah,
a
I did.
serious problem.
I caught myself doing that in the beginning, and I just would hurt myself. But
Yeah,
it's
that's all.
it's why it's good for me.
I've
I
done it
just
two last two Pro Series, and that's like I'm decided if I make it back in next year
yeah,
or like the next one, I am whatever I am. My setup will be, I will. It's
you'll
one and
lock it
done.
in. You
Like
lock
it's
it in.
done. That's what I'm running.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
End
That's
the story.
what you test for is probably what you're gonna get. So That's what's been huge. We've
You
been
always just kind of
testing.
second guess yourself sometimes
Oh,
too, as like
Yeah.
a
for
racer.
sure.
It's just I think it's just
That's why it's good in
especially
my
like if you had
shoes. I
well
get
like
I
you
run what
don't
I run what
you're
I'm
right.
given, and that's it.
It's
Yeah.
I don't
great.
have to.
It's
I can't
like
second guess it.
but like if you
Yeah.
start tinkering and stuff, like it's almost like you don't even want to learn. Sometimes you just want to go. You're better off just driving
Yeah.
because as soon as you like start to understand it in a way too, you get. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? What
Mhm.
about that? What about it? Just it all kind of matters in a way, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So
plug and play deals.
to wrap up talking about your rookie year, what would you say is the main thing that you learned from that rookie season?
Just how fast everyone was. I feel like someone brought it up Monday. I don't know who it was, but we were chasing everyone in the front, and like Bergeron, he was multiple time champ. That's who we want to beat, and we were, just practicing off of him, and we were just chasing everyone in points and speed every week. And you go this year, and we're at the front. Everyone's chasing us, so it was always just kind of like how fast everyone was, and just the type of racing a pro scene is. And I
Yeah,
mean, you have
what
to
to
be the best.
expect. What to
Oh, for
expect
sure.
out of the Pro Series races, because, like we've
Hmm.
said, it's a completely different animal. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. It was a lot of experience that you gained in that first year. So, going into to talking about this year, uh, just to refresh your memory, if you're not
Yeah.
aware, you're leading the points in the Sprint
Hmm.
Car Pro Series right now. You haven't finished worse than eighth all season. You've made every feature. You have 4 top fives, which is the most. Obviously, 7 top tens, which is the most. This is clearly a massive improvement over a
Hmm.
13th place finish in last year's Pro Series points. What would you say is the biggest contributing factor to this leap?
Definitely figure out qualifying.
Yeah.
That's I think qualifying is number one no matter what, whatever you're doing. Um,
Unless there's an invert. We were just talking
Unless
about
there's an
this.
invert. Um, I don't know. I just feel like you put yourself in the front, you can't really lose it. So I say after every week I don't finish good. I say, well, good. I mean, worst finish being eighth, that's pretty good.
Well, yeah.
But I don't finish in the top five. I always tell myself, you put me up at the front, I'm not gonna lose it because I know what I'm doing. I gotta
Right.
pass cars when I start deep, so
Right.
it kind of sucks, but you learn as you go, and I think qualifying is my biggest contributing factor to
So
the point lead, and just getting there in the beginning.
Right.
So you went after
And just
last
being
year's Pro Series
consistent.
and really, what you're saying is you went after last year's Pro Series and really practiced your tacky speed.
Yeah, I mean that's always been a killer for me. I feel like my racecraft in the slick is 10 times better than my tacky track racing. So the heat race is always tough, but you put yourself in front, no one's gonna pass you. I've been fortunate enough to get 2 heat wins now, and they've been on a little bit slicker tracks. So I mean, you could say I've been lucky, but I think I've been
No,
consistent enough to
I wouldn't say lucky.
keep my lead. But
Nope. No one.
Just
No
being
one.
consistent alone, like just that consistent. I was looking through a stat line, but your average finish is fifth.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Like
that's pretty good. Like
That's
I don't know, you can't get much better than that. And Aiden's is
I,
sixth, so he's just right there, and he's in second. So
he's only 3 point, and
3
only I
points.
think like the biggest. Well, if you look at and if you really want to look at it, like between you and Aiden, your average start finish, his is 7, or yours is 7. Your average starts 7th, and his average starts 8th, and that's
and
for points. And the next person that has average finish of 5 would be Rumsey.
yeah, Rumsey's he's I think it's 5 and 4. So
Mm-hmm.
but he hasn't made a feature, so you equate that to him finishing fourth every week. That's
Right.
he's insane. He's
He's
one of the
also
best, I
another one
would
of the
say.
wheels. Yeah,
He's
he's kind of on it right now. Just overall, I
uh,
feel like really good too.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Everything.
well, I've been watching a little bit, and like Aiden's been really good too lately. Like
Yeah.
you guys really stepped it up from last year, and
Mhm.
just in order to be consistent at that level,
Mhm.
like just any pro series level, like in the iRacing from sprint car to the lane model, just to be that consistent, is
Yeah. I
like is going on.
I
Because like
almost
you see Bergeron winning these races,
uh
and then like he didn't make Williams Grove or like
Like
that kills it. Like that
Yeah.
just kills the whole
yeah.
season. Like if he would just make the race there, like this is
Yeah,
a
he
whole
would be
totally different series. And then, or like Hayden just winning those. Like I think Hayden probably could have won 3 races and 2 or 3 races now.
He's
I
like
think he would be
4. I
gone.
think there's
And
4 that he's been
and
up
he
front
would,
for and
yeah.
messed
If
up.
He'd
if he
be
wasn't if he
If he'd
wasn't
be,
winning or Bennett, he would be.
That's
He'd
what
be
he
the
we've
point
talked
lead.
about.
he'd have won the he'd be
That's what
winning the
we've talked
championship right
about.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Though, so did you expect to be in this position in any way at the beginning of the season? Like, did you expect your season to be going as well as it has so far?
I knew we were going to be good for sure. I mean, that was a thought heading into last year as well. But I mean, me being a rookie, all of us being a rookie, technically, we didn't know what we were getting into. So this year, we've definitely, as you said, stepped it up. Um, I mean, no, I did not think I was going to be at the front, but I knew I'd be close to it. My goal was to make money in the end of the season, and it's obviously going to happen now.
yeah,
But I started out the season with 2 top 7 finishes and then went 6th. So, I yes and no, you could say. I mean, I was in the points lead after week 4, I think. So,
Yes.
and
I,
I've
I
held it
looked.
for another 4 weeks. So, I've been there. We've all been there. I mean,
and it's just tight battles. Just matter about consistency and making it to the end.
it's going to be
And
close.
what you guys have upcoming? You have 3 more big tracks actually. I think you got
Yeah.
Port Royal, Eldora,
Charlotte. It always
and
ends at Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yeah,
Charlotte,
so
yeah.
you got 3 big tracks left. You ran 4th at Knoxville. Are
4th at
you?
Knoxville and 4th at Williams Grove.
What would you say to expect for? I guess just like in racing wise, like what should we expect from the big tracks in a way coming
Uh,
up?
from racing wise,
Racing wise, yeah.
yeah. Um,
Port Royal is probably gonna be fence.
it's gonna be right around the top the whole night, which is gonna suck. It's literally just drive the piss out of it, or you're gonna
Get
wreck.
to the
But
top.
That's gonna be
um,
scary. 35.
I'm pretty sure Carval's gonna go ahead with that one. But uh, I don't know.
You
It should be pretty good
He
racing.
might, but you might want to be there with about 2 to go. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say. Might
and
want to
that's
be
what
close
Aiden
with
did.
about 2 to go.
I hope
That's what
Hayden
Aiden did this last Monday.
wins next
So
week. Damn.
yeah, no, I
No,
mean everyone's good in their own way, like you said earlier. So you have to be there. So, I
yeah,
mean,
it's just a matter about being there and being in the right spot.
yeah.
Every dog has its day, knowing when to hit the spot, when to go, when not to go, when
Yeah,
to
I think
breathe, when to.
Eldora is kind of a be there at that time, or you're not going to make any pass because it's so one line and just
Yeah,
Once it goes to
fastest
the
track on
top,
the
it's just
schedule.
there.
It's
It
there.
stays there.
it's full
And
send.
and
at
is
Eldora.
Charlotte
Yeah.
still that way as well? Because I know last year's finale at Charlotte looked like it went to the top and it stayed there. I feel like, if I remember correctly.
It went to the top, and last year, Aiden was actually leading. I'm pretty sure, and I believe I was spotting him. I didn't make that feature, so, and then the bottom came in. I mean, none of us expected that, so it went kind of
Bergeron
bottom
probably
middle.
rolling. That dude's an
I
animal on the bottom.
think he was deep, so
Yeah, he was deep
Tyler
in that
Bell
one.
won that race.
If there's a bottom, that's the
I
first
think
person I'm looking
Bergeron
for.
was about
Yeah.
ninth in the
And
last round last year.
yeah, and it's pretty funny this week. He was up top all week. Like Evan was up top as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
It's crazy
you
how
don't
like
you
Pro
don't see that
Series
much.
makes the drivers change than
Oh,
like
for
their normal
sure.
habits because you would see like in like just like an official like a league or a regular league race, you would see probably Bergeron run the bottom of that whole race or
Mhm.
like something like that. Not necessarily do the slower line on purpose, but he would find
Yeah.
it. But like in the Pro Series, you're full tilt and you have to get absolutely every single ounce
Mhm.
out of that race
Even
car,
if it's not in
all
your
the time.
comfort zone.
Even if it's
Oh,
not in
for
your comfort
sure.
zone,
Yeah.
you just have to do it. Like it's just
And
is
that's
what
There's
it
no way
is.
around it.
That's gonna be this week. You want maximum speed, but you have to give up a little bit just to be comfortable so you don't die. Like
Correct.
Port Royal is so treacherous up top when it
Oh,
gets
we know. It's scary to lane
God,
off.
I
you know
hate it.
the bump in 1 and 2 is
Scary.
terrible.
It's
I
scary.
hate
The
it.
curve. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine. So here, you want to know something cool that you can do in lane model?
Mm.
You can actually in 3 and 4. You get sprint. You guys can wall tap a little bit too, but in 3 and 4, you
Yeah.
can actually like just hit it with your right front
Uh-huh.
and then turn off the hill, and it's like
Yeah.
4/10.
He
In the
pulled away
sprints,
from
you
me
can
so much in a practice session for Pro Series this year because he was doing that, and I
And then-
was so
Yeah.
mad.
And then T Hud said we couldn't do it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, Nathan can't hit this. All right.
Yeah. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But no, there's so many exploits you can do in the sprints. I feel like a couple tenths within the shocks. Like that's just
Right.
That's a click of a button and you're a tenth faster. But I mean, I don't know. I would like to go for late model pro, but I can't see myself learning the car. Like just
It's a
putting that
lot.
time in, and then
And
going
it's just
back to sprint car pro. Like
and it's a totally different driving style in a way too.
Well,
Because
you
like
know, go ahead.
we were talking about this earlier, whenever Ryan was in Discord, but like the sprint car, what we were talking about, it's a totally different driving style compared to late model. Sprint car, I feel like you're turning left the whole way around there. And
mhm.
late model, you're turning right. And then a big block, you turn straight. And then a midget, you're all over. So
Yeah,
like, it's kind of a matter of like what do you want in a way, and like what you're comfortable with, and like the turning left, like sprint, like I'm uncomfortable driving a sprint car. I
yeah,
feel like I'm just like bound, like I'm like tight in the arms. I'm like,
yeah,
ah. And but like late model, I'm flowy. We're like you're probably flowy with a sprint car, and late model
yeah.
you're tight and bound up. It's just kind of a matter of like what you're comfortable
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
But the late model stuff, like
That's the
compared to the
motto of this
sprint
episode: is
car,
comfort.
Mhm.
sprint car, you're or late model, you're bent.
Yeah.
Sprint cars don't bend well.
And I think that's the main thing. You want to drive off the left rear. So if you can get yourself to really drive off the left rear, you're gonna feel so uncomfortable, but it's
It's
10
just
times
so much
faster.
faster. So,
Yeah.
um, there was I kind of want to go back just a tad. What did you? How did you feel once the dirt refresh came out? In sprint cars, like I feel like they changed a lot.
Uh-huh.
Was it something that you got comfortable with pretty quick, or were you a little worried? Like, cause I was worried. Like, shoot, I might be slow after this refresh. Who knows? But
Um,
how did you feel?
we were rolling in the beginning, and obviously everyone's gonna catch on.
Mm-hmm.
The build came out pretty like early before the Pro Series started, so
Right.
everyone was on the same speed. But it was definitely different. All these tracks now are like greasy, almost more greasy for the sprint cars, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're you're, and we have a restrictor now, so you have to play with that a little bit. But um, I don't know. That's what going back to setup. You really have to hit the setup to hit the track, if that makes sense.
You,
But
you can't really just plug the same setup in a track to track now as much as you
I
used to.
you can't really know, and it doesn't like equate to broken set. I don't know if you guys remember that,
Right.
but
Yeah, the
Yes.
that's
laner
what
Yes.
sets.
Yeah. The
they just
laners.
changed that, so everyone's getting to the left side, and that's how sprint cars should drive. But we're a little broken a little bit, but I won't get into that. So,
Yeah.
How
but
what do you think of the build overall, like now compared to the last one?
um, I don't think I can personally talk because I've also never driven a real car, but I was. You could say
From
I
your
was
own
born into.
standpoint, at
You
least.
could say I was born into broken set because I started iRacing when
It
I
was
don't know
the
if you
leaner
know that,
stat.
but
Yeah.
when it was like 3-3 shocks, which
Yeah.
is so broken, and you're just
No, it was leaned over on the
and it
right
didn't
side.
make sense.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your
It was
right
just
front was in the ground halfway, like a late
yeah,
model.
but it
Like
just turned.
yeah, you could
Right
just get so
front
much
over, and
drive
you're
out of
just
it.
turning. It was
Yeah,
goofy.
and you can
Goofy to
see a bunch of
watch
guys
too.
doing
It
it
looked like a slot
too.
car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't know, everyone was the same, which is there's no speed. Like Volusia round one, everyone's just digging in the right front. It made no sense, and they released this build, and I'd say the racing's 10 times better. Attack your track is way better to race on now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they pre-gen your Pro Series for late models, which they haven't done for us. So,
They
They did a
only
few.
did that before they kind of fixed it
uh-huh.
in September
When
because
they
it was
weren't
Yeah.
getting
so bad.
slick.
Yes,
They
Yeah,
did it
whenever it
really
was so
late.
bad.
The update was
Um,
later
and
on
then the
though.
last 2 weeks they
yeah.
did it normal because they had fixed it really.
I personally think the tracks are good. I mean, we can run a hosted and run a track in within 10 minutes. Like,
Right,
and
because
it's
they
and it's
fixed it
and it's perfect for
in
us. Yeah.
September. So
In the beginning, oh my, the
it was
officials were terrible.
was
Just
bad.
0% the whole time.
Yep, it was bad. So
Yeah. That
I
was.
wanted to bring that one up because I kind of wanted a sprint car guy's opinion on it. But back to this season, has there been, or what would you say has been a defining moment so far of this season? Like, is there any moment that you can think of that could have been that went your way that could have been detrimental had it not?
Uh, it also, well, it's gonna sound pretty funny because it really didn't go my way, but um, Lincoln, I won the heat race. I started fourth and kind of got an unfortunate contact with my teammate, a little bit of net code, and sent me up into the wall, and I was back to maybe 12th. And um, you know, having I start up front, top in the front row, I'm taken away with that. I feel like I just was. We were the best cars. Me and my teammates were I would say the best cars that week, and just good unfortunate luck. And that's kind of what happens in racing. But with the simulator, you're gonna have how do I put this? Like an incident that you can't control. Just like
Yes. Yeah.
like you can't get hurt in a simulator. So
Yeah.
like in real life, you wouldn't do that type of stuff. But uh, I made my way back up to fifth and was fortunate enough to, still be there. But
Right.
I definitely think that race could have gone my way having I start up front. But
Yeah.
just unfortunate luck.
Sometimes
Technically all the way
but you
out.
still persevered. You made your
Yeah,
way
I
back
did.
up. You didn't let it rattle you. You
Mhm.
drove your tail back up to
Yeah.
fifth, and had you finished 12th, you wouldn't be in the points lead right now. Like
Oh, no
statistically, you
way.
would not be in the points lead right now. So that's something that if this season goes
That's
your
your
way,
championship. That was your
that's your
championship.
championship moment.
Yeah.
If nothing else
And
crazy like that happens, that could be something that
and
you
that
look at and be like, look at
I
that.
think Bergeron not making the feature really just set him back. Like I was in third after Williams Grove because he wasn't there. Like it was
Yeah.
so close in the beginning. And I think after round two, I think my teammate Tanner Pettit was in second. And he was in first by 30 points, just because he went back to back. So
Right.
it set him so far ahead, and then he doesn't make a feature one week, and now he's sixth or seventh or fifth or whatever that is. And
Your consistency has just been incredible, honestly. Just to
it's
see
it's pretty
like
funny. My favorite real life driver is Brad Sweet, and the only way he's won 5 championships is because of
Consistency.
consistency. And
He
Right.
don't win a lot of races, really.
I don't know who I told him at the beginning of the season. I said I'm having a Brad Sweet moment. Like this is going my way. I've gotten, like you said, top fives all season. It's just
That's
It's
really all it
and
takes.
that's
And I
all it
think
takes.
it's been shown in like real life too. I don't know if a lot of people remember about this. This is a little bit before their time, but there was a point in time where Scott Bloomquist went on the Hell Tours Summer Nationals Late Model Series. It's a month long, and he made a point
Mhm.
and he won that championship, and he accidentally won a race, but he ran second
Yeah.
in every race to show that it was just about consistency. At the end of the day, if you are consistent, you will win. You can win
Mhm.
championships.
And
And
that
he accidentally won a race, but he went out. That was his point, was to go out there, and he ran.
how do you
Him and Scott
accidentally
Bloomquist.
win a race?
yeah,
They leader
accidentally.
broke.
Ah,
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it's like that's like I mean, no, Scott Bloomquist, he just ran second for the hell of it because he probably
Yeah.
did not, Scott. But the
get to the top.
consistency, that's what he was just a point he was trying to prove. Just
Mhm.
at the end of the day, consistency wins championships. You got to be
Yeah.
fast as well, but you got to be consistent.
And
So,
like those
oh, go ahead.
the single races like the Chili Bowl in real life, it's all luck. Like
Right.
that Sean Timmerman Memorial race was all luck on where if you could make the race or not.
Yeah.
And with there being 30 cars, that track was so slick. It just you had to be there in the end.
Mhm.
So, like you said earlier, you've been leading the points since the end of round 4. How much pressure has that added going into each race? Has it gotten more or less stressful, or is it about the same each week?
It's the week 5 was definitely hard, but I think I had an 18-point gap or something like that, and I ran pretty good at Williams Grove to get me there. So, um, it's definitely pressure because you have something on the line now, and I knew I wasn't gonna really fall back to maybe fifth or whatever after that round, but it's more pressure because my teammates behind me, and oh my, what if we wreck or get together, and that's a whole championship. Now it's
Right.
40 points to third, and we can have a little bit of room to maybe not make the feature at port and still be fine. So
Right. So that leads into my next question.
mhm.
Your teammate Aiden Forster won Monday night at Fairbury. He's now 3 points behind you. How does it feel to have a teammate that you're battling so closely with for a Pro Series championship? And does that make it more stressful, knowing that it's at this moment it's between you and him?
Yeah, yeah, it's way more stressful now because we're racing for we're on the same setup. I mean, nothing's really changing but driver, and we've both been super consistent. He got a win, and that put him just a little bit ahead. And I don't know. I feel like we've always been there every week, and it goes back to setup. Like the setup builder's got to be perfect for us to be in this position. So,
Right.
um, definitely stressful because, I mean, we're in the same Discord call as we're racing. That's super stressful. But
Yeah.
it's like a team effort. I mean, just like
Yeah.
real life, team efforts are what wins championships. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what we've been doing every single week.
You're leading points, but you haven't picked up a win yet, which is not a bad thing, really. Obviously it just goes to show how consistent you've been, but you haven't won a Pro Series race yet. I want to know how hard you think you'll be willing to push for a win going into the final 3 races. Like, I would imagine with the points this close to the end of the season, it'll kind of make you more conservative. Like, I don't want to risk pulling this move because this is a good points night, but also like it's a Pro Series race win. Like,
Yeah,
what's the mindset, if you could imagine, going into these last 3 races?
I definitely don't want to junk it and not make the feature. That would totally suck. But just to make the feature and run a top 5 would be, I think, totally fine. And given that Aiden finishes 2 spots ahead of me, it puts him in the point lead, and now I got to push for something else. So I definitely thought the win was going to come this year, and I just had no luck in finding it. Uh, 2 heat wins have been pretty cool. I mean, that's put me top 4 in a feature spot. So I mean, I definitely thought the win was coming, and then who knows, it still could come. And
Yeah.
but
So like
with Aiden behind me,
if you find yourself in a position where you have,
The opportunity.
the opportunity, but you're also
Lap
like,
34.
yeah,
You're on his tail. He opens the door for a slider. What are you doing?
Are you sticking with a solid second place, good points? It's not even your teammate in front of you, but like
he's got a car link on you.
yeah.
I
Are
mean,
you?
if I know I'm faster, obviously I'm gonna throw it. I'm like I told Aiden this Monday, you're gonna win the slider battle no matter what.
Mhm.
You've been catching him, and he made a mistake. Fortunately for him to win, so. But I forgot put in that position. I mean, obviously I'm gonna try it. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Like it's a win, and who knows? And you put myself in the points lead still. I'm gonna grow it even further. So
You're right.
All right, so
I
let's
mean,
back it up. What if this is, say, halfway through the race and you're just kind of riding, but you may have an opportunity for a slider for the lead? Are you throwing it, or are you a little more conservative?
it's pretty funny. We've been backtracking this conversation, but February I had a chance to slide him for the lead. I never did it, and I made a mistake, and I let Aiden go through. So
Oh.
and Tanner did tell me to throw the slider or stay where you want, but I knew Cardinal was going to be, faster. He's amazing at the sim, so he's always going to get faster. But I knew he had a good car, so I wasn't going to chance anything. But if I threw it, I probably would have ran away with it. Who knows? I would have never made a mistake. I mean, that's like we went 34 green with the lap one caution, so technically 35, and I made one mistake and threw it away. That's literally all of pro though, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the opportunity, I'm gonna throw it.
I don't know. I feel like the reason that I ask is because I know myself, and I just said this in a Discord earlier because I was talking about this question because I like it. I know myself. I would not. I just don't. I don't think I would. I don't think I would ever risk if I was in your position. But just me. You're different. We're all different. Me,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I just don't think I could bring myself to risk a great points night for a win, for just a
And
couple more
the
points.
only and
Oh no, I'm going for it.
yeah, the only thing I probably didn't slide him, and it was never in my mind, but now that I think of it, the Heat wins got me the extra 3 points.
Right.
Aiden finishes second. That's an extra point, and he beats me by 2 positions.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm keeping alive right now and he's not in the lead because I've gotten the 2 Heat wins, and he's fortunately gotten a Heat win at I believe I-55, and that set him just close enough to get me. So it'll be good. I mean, it's my teammate. What else can I expect? We're
So
some of the best on the sim, so
how,
it's gonna
how,
be it'll be fun.
how are you feeling going into these final 3 rounds? Like, you got 3 races here.
Charlotte.
How are you
Yeah.
feeling?
I know he's watching right now, but I think Port we're pretty even. We just did a test earlier this morning, and all 3 of us were the same. It's Port is send it or you're not gonna get anywhere with it. So
Don't make a mistake.
yeah, I mean, Port is gonna be a toss up. I think this is the only race we're really not talking about points really, or they take the championship because anyone could die. I mean, Eldora and Charlotte are pretty conservative on whether you want to stay in your position or not. And we go to Eldora in 2 weeks. I feel pretty confident there. We ran that Timmerman Memorial, and we ran up front. We were, I believe, second and fourth. So, I mean,
2 good runs.
and I can't expect much out of him, like just to not be there. But I know he's always going to be good, and I think we're pretty even. I mean, we're 1-2 right now. I don't know if you can ask
Just
for
for
much
like
better.
the speed shop team alone, just like you guys, like from
Yeah,
last year to this year. Last year, you guys you struggled. You guys struggled a
yeah,
little bit last year, and this year, you guys came back, and that
for
guy,
sure.
you're showing that you're a dominant team, and you
Hmm.
can run up front in these races, and
Yeah, this year's
it's
been amazing. I
yeah,
mean, it's running 1-2 after week 5 is, it's. I mean, I wish it could have happened earlier and we could have gotten a way bigger point lead, but 40 is
yeah,
pretty good to third.
yeah,
Last year we were just talking about it, and I think Aiden finished 8th or ninth in the championship, me 13th and Tanner 15th. So
yeah,
we all retained our license, but this year it's been 100 times better, I think, and this was our collectively all of our championships to
yeah,
win, and it definitely came. And we with our first win on Monday, that's in 17 races as a team. That's amazing. I think
yeah,
we've definitely prevailed, and we're the team to beat at the moment.
yeah.
I
Which is
agree.
good.
So, last question, and this is a group question, but you're gonna know why I'm asking this. What would
Yeah.
you do with $10,000? And I'll let you answer first, Ryan.
Oh man, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know if I could say because I haven't gotten it, and that's just
If
I
someone
don't
just
know.
gave you $10,000 right now, it doesn't even have to be for winning pro points. What would you do with 10K?
Man, I don't even. That's a lot of money.
Throw it
I
in the
mean,
bank.
yeah, throw it in the bank, and put it towards a car, or college, whatever. But with me being so young, I've got those opportunities to grab money and do whatever I want. But um, I don't know what I would do with it, honestly. I don't.
What about you, Keith? What would you do with $10,000?
Franchising a 7 brew.
Oh, Jesus. I should have known. We were
No,
just
no,
talking about
nah,
this.
nah, nah, nah,
I
nah.
don't think
Actually,
10,000 is enough for that.
I did think about it. Honestly, I'd probably go out to Europe, not out, but I'd go over to Europe for
Vacation
like,
or something.
yeah, I'd go travel through Europe for like a month,
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
like
I
backpack.
I would pay off some debt. And
Yeah,
not all of it,
And
but some of
uh,
it. Some of it.
that's a benefit of being so young is, I mean, I ain't got
yeah.
nothing to
You
pay.
ain't got no
I ain't got
debt.
nothing to do.
I got a
Enjoy it
little.
while
I
you
got a
can,
little.
brother.
I could pay it off.
Yeah.
I could buy another car. I guess
Well,
down payment.
Ryan,
Brian.
I said Ryan. I didn't say
Oh, I
Brian.
think you said Brian. I was like,
No.
whoa.
No, Ryan, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, my man.
Yes, sir.
It's been a great time. If you want to give anybody a shout out, now's your time.
But yeah, my mom and dad for always backing me on this. You guys for doing this podcast and having me on. Everyone at speedshop51.com, Tanner Pettit, Aiden Forrester for being there every week, and we've made it, I think.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Well, good luck
There
to
you
you in
go.
the final 3 rounds. We'll be pulling for you. Hope you bring home that championship, man.
Thank you guys.
All right. We'll be right back. All right. Well, that was Ryan Avila, your Sprint Car Pro Series points leader, if we didn't talk about it enough. He's leading the points, y'all. It's cool. That's really cool. I hope
Hasn't even won, and he hasn't even won, right? Like he hasn't won a race
just
yet. Like it
the
just that's cool.
consistency is insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know
like
I know it sucks not winning a race, but he's leading the points.
that's just insane. I
I
hope
think
he
that's better.
I hope he picks up a win and picks up the points championship. Like I don't
That'd be
know.
pretty sweet.
I would imagine it would after a while it would start to feel weird having a points championship. Like obviously you're going to be excited immediately, but I feel like after a while it would start to feel kind of weird having a points championship without a win that season. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, what we have coming up, we've got a good old drunk stream coming up. If y'all hadn't seen, we got the drunk stream coming up on Saturday. We
Dude, I can't wait to make mixed drinks all day.
yes.
Oh boy.
Yes. So we set a goal here on the Twitch channel. God, that was like October, I think, maybe November to maybe it was September. I don't even know. But we set a goal to hit like 50 subs, and y'all smashed it. So I was like, all right, we're going to do a drunk stream. And I hadn't done it yet. But we finally set a date. We finally got the gang, the main components of the gang able to schedule it and be ready.
I'll be home for a weekend for a change.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Colin's off for a weekend.
And
So
Colin's like that is a miracle.
yeah, so we
A
finally got it to
miracle.
line up. So we got the drunk stream planned for Saturday. We're gonna go live. I'm gonna try to go live at 1 Central, so 2 Eastern, like 11 Pacific. The way it'll work, and this is a kind of a rough idea, but you'll be able to donate bits in order to get us to drink more. Obviously, we're going to be drinking on our own, for our own, as much as we want ourselves. But if you want us to drink more, you got to donate bits, and there will be more info on that whenever we go live for the drunk stream. It'll be something to the tune of like donate X amount of bits for someone to drink, or donate X amount of bits for someone to finish their drinks, or donate a certain amount of bits for us all to finish our drinks. Something along those lines. It's going to be a great time. We're obviously going to be doing a lot of iRacing. We might end up doing some iRacing with a controller. Might be doing some send horrible setups to your teammate or whatever, and see who can run the horrible set the best. But we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff, including probably some other games as well. But it's going to be a great time. I'm super excited about it. Ready to get absolutely plastered and try to not say anything that'll get me banned on Twitch.
I've actually never drank alcohol before.
Right, except for that one time.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be a great time. I'm excited about it. We did one time back whenever I used to stream on Facebook, and it was a blast. And this is gonna be even better. Other than that, what do we have coming up? I mean, we've got East Bay coming up soon. The Chili Bowl this weekend. Vado this weekend. Well, I mean, Vado right now, and I think Chili Bowl right now. But
Chili Bowl right now. I was watching it and I had to turn it off for this.
oh, so
I think
you weren't.
feature should be starting soon.
Oh, so that's why you weren't rambling as much. That's how you kept yourself from
No.
rambling. You were watching the Chili Bowl on the side.
No, I have the podcast pulled up.
Oh, okay.
I watch chat. Because
Gotcha.
if chat has a good question, I'll answer it.
Yeah. Someone mentioned that we need to influence iRacing to scan a 2024 dirt late model chassis and give us different chassis options like a Longhorn Capital or Rocket.
I don't know about necessarily different chassis
Yeah.
options, more along the line just a newer chassis.
Yeah, newer chassis, newer body. That's something that I think we can all agree on. But here's the thing, because this is a topic that actually comes up a lot, and the problem is I don't see them doing that until there is a huge change to the way that they look or the way that they drive. They're not going to make a change because if you look to the average person, if you pulled them off the street and showed them a late model from 2012 or maybe say 2014, let's just do 10 years, 2014 to 2024, if you showed them a picture of either one of them, they'd say they look the exact same. It does not. They're not going to spend the time, the resources, and the effort to scan a car, that hasn't really changed that much. I mean, yes, but also no. Like, it's just not going to be worth it for them. But I would love to see it. And they say a 3-link to a 4-link. And yeah, to them it is just nitpicking, and it may be.
It'd be like designing like a Camaro SS and a Camaro Z11 or Z71 in a way.
Well, it's also like
designing a whole new car for it.
Yeah, it's also like the Asphalt Super Late model. I think wasn't it the Asphalt Super Late model that they had on the service for so many years? They finally updated it whenever it had changed enough for them to feel like it was worthy of another update, of a rescan. Right. Yeah. But I would love to see it. I just don't see it happening. At
this time and day, it might be a few years.
So do you want to announce your next your plans for your next IRL race?
Oh yeah, chat podcast listeners. if you are at East Bay at first week in February, I think it starts January 29th, it's the first night. I'll be racing 6 nights in East Bay in the A mods.
Ooh.
Gonna be trying to rip the old zero car, wheelied up.
Wheelie gang, baby. Wheelie gang. Yeah,
We're gonna
that's
be. I'm kind of stoked about it, and like it's.
first time going to East Bay, right?
Yeah, it'll be my
Like
first. I've
just
been. I've been to Volusia and a few other places down there, but I've never been to East Bay.
I haven't either, and I'm gonna try to possibly try to make it out there to watch, but it's quite the hike for me. But it's an even longer hike for you, so
Yeah,
y'all can stop. Y'all can stop midway. Stay here if you need to.
15 hours, I think.
This would be about midway.
But I don't know if I've ever like 6 days in a row. I don't know if I've ever raced 6 days in a row.
Not. I mean, you have on
I'm ready
iRacing.
I'm ready to lock it in though. Like I really am. I'm ready for the year. I've been on iRacing more now. Just kind of just prepare myself mentally,
feet
like
warm.
the race the racecraft,
Yeah.
like essence of just remembering. Okay, here, and I've been kind of struggling in the iRacing here lately. Just a little, not struggling, but I don't race enough to be struggling.
You had to throw that out there, like, hey,
But
whoa, now I'm still good. Not
nah,
like
I'm like
struggling. Hold on.
but like I'm a tenth off like from a winning race car. I would say, like in
I
late
would
model side of
definitely
things.
say you're not the same
But,
any given race, Kiefer. You still have
right.
flashes of it, and I think if you really, really put the time in, of course you'd be back. But you are missing that every single race dominance.
But so I've been working on it. But like I'm enjoying the mid pack racing right now because it's making me a lot better in my patience. I've been needing to work on that a lot just for my real racing, because we don't have mirrors.
Oh yeah.
And you have to be really aware of your surroundings and just, okay, this guy's here. And like, well, I made a slide job last night. I sent a video to you, and it's the first slide job I've ever had the person that I slid message me saying that was a good slide job and actually meant it. I like when he texted me, I was like, what? I was like, when he first messaged me, he's like, that was a hell of a slide job, dude. And I was like,
at first you were like, oh
I looked
boy,
at it.
I done pissed him off.
I was like, I don't even remember hitting this dude. I was like, I don't even think I hit anybody. I don't even have a 0x. And I went back to watching it. It was just, but like,
what'd you say? Why don't you tell everyone what you said?
well, I told him, I was like, well, honestly, it's because of me and Nathan racing them. Whenever I'll say that, well, I'll just explain it in a more thorough, a lot longer way. When me and Nathan test, we don't really necessarily test. I like to race Nathan. I don't like to race.
Well, we don't test like that anymore, obviously, because we're on separate teams. We just make laps together.
We just racecraft each other, and that's where we test. And it's not necessarily, oh, you need to follow me and run this middle, or you need to follow me and run this top, or this is the line we're trying to get. We race each other, and you just full tilt. You don't care, and you throw haymakers with each other, and you're just maxed out. And whenever you can drive, if you can drive like that for 10 laps comfortably and like safely without bumping, and like me and Nathan, like we have some really good races.
Yeah.
Like probably some of the best I've ever seen on the sim. Just like our late model stuff, like whenever we have a good little heat race on with each other, people would pay for that. And I think there's probably streams of our races.
Probably like the little practice,
Yeah, when we were practicing before, like, but
warming up in practice. We just throw stuff that
you're just usually
that you would never be comfortable with doing in a race, but we know it's okay to do it in this setting with with Kiefer or with me.
So for instance, in that scenario last night,
but that makes you better at it.
Boom, and then like in like not iRacing, but in real life, just like, okay, and just watching and understanding the cars and how fast you enter, how far the car is going to be charging in on the bottom, or how the car is be coming off the top, and just listening to it and listen where he's gassing up. Okay, I could gas up here. It's just there's a lot in the racecraft, and just running full tilt next to someone for like 10 laps. You can do it, and you guys can stay with each other like a good competitive. You have to find someone your skill range. I feel like me and Nathan's probably a little bit more consistent than I am. He rides a little bit more, but
yeah. I'm obviously about I think 8 positions better than you now. you know, 7 or 8, wherever you finished. I finished
Where are
third.
you in points?
I beat you. I'm third in points.
I'm 8th in points.
I'm 5
So I'm
positions
5
better
spots.
than you. Anyways.
Hey, chat. Do we have the video of what happened last time we were on even circumstances? We tied, and then I beat him.
Wow. I thought we talked it over. We weren't gonna bring that up. Oh, God.
Dad, whenever Dad needs to come home, no, I feel like me. No, I honestly like it's, but like that race, that's truly how I feel. I feel like we're pretty equal.
Yeah, we are. I think we really
have,
are.
and I feel like I have a few more things that I have better. Like I'm a little bit more aggressive than you,
Yes.
and like right now you're a lot more consistent than me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just our two things right now. That kind of like the aggressive part hurts me. The consistent part helps you a lot more right now, but we can still race full tilt together. I feel like
Especially
our
whenever
full
we're
tilt,
practicing.
dude.
Oh,
like,
God, it's so.
nuts. Ain't no one running with us. I feel like there ain't not a single soul even competing.
It's the funnest thing too. I love those practice sessions.
If we could ever like race
You
like
remember-
that in like a Pro Series race, I don't know if like we would win, you would win race.
The one that sticks out in my memory is whenever we were practicing a lot for Pro Series at Eldora this in 2023. The practices that we were ripping on the heat sets, especially like, oh my God, dude, we were just having battles.
So fun. And that's what people like. A lot of people just test the single laps, I think, and that hurts because you're not really testing. Because whenever you're testing single laps, you're testing for consistency, and that's what you need to test: consistency, not laps. You don't need to change lines. You just need to run your same line there, consistency. But a lot of people don't test as a racecraft. Like you need to race the people.
And that also makes it fun.
You need to go into a hosted. Don't qualify. Start 18th with the guys who aren't as good. Pass them. Be patient. Do not and just try not to hit them.
Yeah, do it cleanly
and not run through them, and like lift. Like just be cautious and think of courteous. Not everyone's staring in their mirror and knowing when you're coming, or not everybody's listening to your left or the right. It's no one's perfect. So you have to be aware of your surroundings.
And not every little bit of contact is intentional. People make mistakes. You make mistakes. We all make mistakes. You can't always assume that okay, they doored me here. Maybe they just didn't know you were there. Maybe their car got a little loose. They that's what
it's just racing. Yeah. And that's why like a lot of things like you just get upset, like I don't know. But like the mirrors kill it. In my opinion.
Back to the mirrors. You keep bringing up mirrors like I keep bringing up the damn inverts. Anyways.
Oh no! Wait! Stiff quarter panels.
Oh, we can all agree on that one. They need to bend. iRacing, make them bend. If you got to rescan a late model, it's so worth it.
Make it bendable quarter.
You know what I'd do with $10,000? I would couple it with your $10,000. We're gonna pay iRacing to rescan a late model. Yeah,
and so they have them stacked products now. You know, those like plastic door or quarter panels.
Oh, you talking about
the ones that they're called stacked. STAKT. Yes.
It's from 3M or not 3M. MD3. Right?
No. Stacked is a completely different product. But continue. But it's a plastic thing, so like they actually bend and like. Yeah. They can do that, and like ours, you know what ours do? Brick wall.
Yeah. They're ridiculous. They're a freaking reinforced solid steel. You know, it's ridiculous. So but they'll bend in. They won't bend out. Anyways, I think that'll do it for this episode. You ready to send us off with a front flip?
I guess. I don't know. Also, I will add this. Chat, look at these. Some new gibbets.
Lightning McQueen.
Do you like my lights?
Wow. They got lights. Oh, I love it.
My Crocs go crazy.
Put them in sport mode and do a front flip for us.
I don't know if I can do a front flip in sport mode.
What?
They'd fall off. Oh, sport mode?
Sport mode, dude.
I don't know if these Crocs have ever been in sport mode, so we're not even going to try.
Okay, all right. Here we go. The first send-off of 2024. Here he comes. Another great front flip. Wait, I'm going to hold up my number.
One of these days, it's going to be one of these days. Oh, we get a haircut tomorrow, chat.
Ooh,
What should we get? Should we buzz it all off?
big haircut. Yeah, buzz
Big
it all
haircut.
off. Big haircut. Big haircut time.
I think Mackenzie would break up with me.
Nah, not over the haircut.
She would, I think. She kind of mentioned it before. Ouch.
Interesting.
Would Hannah leave you if you shaved your hair?
No, maybe.
Well,
That'll
you're
do it.
balding anyway. It's coming.
Yeah, that's true. I've mentioned it, but anyway, I think that'll do it for this episode of the Plum Wild podcast. Thank you again for to Majula C Speed Shop for sponsoring tonight's episode. Don't forget to use code PlumWild for 15% off at checkout. For myself and Damian Kiefer, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you right back here in the next one.